Hello, everyone. We are back. Moms on the Right. I'm Scarlett Johnson, and I'm here with my friends, Rosalind and Jamie. We all work with Moms for Liberty, and we are all Mama Bear activists. But I guess who doesn't like the term Mama Bear? I don't mind it, but yeah, Jamie doesn't like the term. We're all parental rights activists. And
I mean, let's be honest. I'm not clawing anyone's face off.
No,
I'm good at that.
But I will make it incredibly painful for you if you come for my kids.
Yeah, I'm Wisconsinized except for when it comes to my kids. Then I'm a Puerto Rican Mama Bear, and best watch out because then I'm like the whole thing.
I'm gonna put your hair in a ponytail.
Jenny from the block.
Yes. I forgot to take off my glasses, but I'm getting older. It's really nice to have my glasses. I can see so much better.
No, I don't know. I asked Jack. There are these videos out there where it's like they'll say, "Oh, don't make. You don't want to have to call your dad," and he's like, "No. You don't want to have to make me call my mom." Like,
amen.
I'll take that as like a gold star. That's how I'm going to interpret it.
Yes. When it comes to school stuff, my kids are way more afraid of me. I am like Asian mom, like very much about school. Like if they got a B+, I'm like, why didn't you get an A? That could have been an A if you studied harder. So
you're not a mama bear, you're a mama tiger. You're a tiger mom.
Yeah, I can be a tiger mom. Yeah.
A tiger mom.
That's what it's called.
I don't know. I've fallen to the other side. I'm like, you want to sleep in? Cool. You need a day? Let's take it.
My daughter doesn't like when I come to the basketball games. She's like, you're just judging me the whole time. I can see it. And afterwards, I was like, well, that looked like fun. You weren't playing basketball, but you were doing something else up there. I don't know what it was.
Like, if you're staying home, I'm putting you to work. There are chores to do, young man.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a lot to do, like these, and she's just like, oh, yeah, I can't believe you would say that. And I'm like, did you play your best? Is that you gave 100%? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, okay, I could tell, and I'm your mom, and I'm going to be honest with you. Who else is going to be honest with you? So, but the next game after I said that, she was on fire. And then she kept looking at me like, see? So,
need a little
sometimes
reinforcement.
Yeah, sometimes that's what they need. But anyway, so a lot is going on right now because we have some big elections coming up. And yeah, we still are in the midst of the Schumer shutdown, which means I have little incentive to go to DC as everything is closed. I can go check in at the White House press office, which is cool, but they're not doing that because they're in Japan. So Carolyn Levitt is in Japan. They should be coming back soon.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done a world tour. I loved watching President Trump dance in Malaysia, doing his little.
No, it was just so great. Like, he was in the spirit of it. It was just a moment of joy, which is so great.
Yeah. That's what you never know what to expect. And then he was dancing with the troops, and the troops are all dancing. And you definitely didn't see any of that with Biden.
You were worried he'd fall over.
Because he couldn't walk and talk and eat. So that would have been difficult. But so there's that. But hoping that this shutdown ends soon for the families that need some of the services that are not being provided. And I'm not sure about what's going on with the military. I hear conflicting things from my son-in-law and my daughter about whether or not they're going to get paid November 1st. So just kind of wait and see if they end up getting paid this go around. So your thoughts about the Schumer shutdown?
I think, SNAP benefits are set to not get re-upped on November 1st. And I think that there are approximately 14 million children who receive are beneficiaries of SNAP. That's really, really concerning. And I think, we go back to all it is saying yes to the CR, right? A clean resolution, and saying no to healthcare for illegal immigrants. And the reality is, by continuing to delay this, I can't see any other rationale than the people who need SNAP benefits, the American children, are less important than immigrants in the minds of the Democrats in the Senate. So somebody please prove me wrong.
What are the advantages for the Democrats to continue this shutdown?
I
don't know, honestly.
I don't know, but I do think that we should be using it to our advantage. I saw something I saw 42 million families, so maybe that makes sense with 14 million children, but maybe there needs to be some auditing and looking into the program as a whole, right? Like solution-based 42 million families is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that I'm not even calling myself a conspiracy theorist anymore, but I've certainly seen some concerns about people, misusing and abusing the system. And so while we're in the shutdown, maybe we need to be having some real conversations about, evaluating what all of these government assistant programs look like.
Right. How do you actually qualify for SNAP?
I mean, I'm looking at it the same way that we looked at like the COVID shutdown and shutting down schools. It really gave us this opportunity to pull the curtain back on the things that are happening. And so is the government doing that?
That's a great observation. Is how to leverage this to reduce overall fiscal spending and identify where there might be overuse or, wolf in sheep's clothing.
Overuse, misuse, what's actually happening, what's really going on. So if anybody out there is listening and they're an investigative personality, here's your chance.
What I'm kind of wondering is, it feels like maybe it's a big deal in DC, but outside of DC, I don't hear anyone talking about it.
Mm.
And I actually thought it would be a bigger deal, but that's kind of what's kind of blowing my mind is it's how it's not affecting.
I will certainly say, like, Rosalind, probably for you in your proximity to DC, and same for mine. I mean, we have friends, obviously, that are, having to deal with it, where they've saved up all their leave, for different things happening in January and February. And now they might not be able to take that time off because of, working now. I had a photography client that needed to delay her session, due to not being paid for, her husband's sole income. And so of course we delayed, and I'm obviously very understanding of those situations, but there's a lot of impact in this vicinity.
So what I'm seeing right now, and I'm going through X account. So on Rapid Response 47, this is now, that's why a key deadline is approaching November 1st. This is actually going to be, for many who work for the federal government, their first lost paycheck, because I think there were funds moved around to continue to try and pay essential workers, but those funds have now been depleted. And I'm seeing that 44% of flight delays on Sunday and 24% on Monday were due to air traffic control staffing issues. So we are headed into Thanksgiving holidays and lots of travel. So this could have a huge, huge impact on holiday travel.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly, with TSA, 100%.
But again, goes back to like,
do we need the TSA? Is that what you're getting at?
Do we need the extreme measures of the TSA? Are they, I'm not saying that they're not keeping our skies safe, but we have questions. I think it's, I didn't have to take my shoes off the last time I flew. I didn't didn't have to take my laptop off, out in DC, but I did in Orlando. And is there real, procedural steps that are missing across the TSA industry?
There is differences depending on the machines. Some places you have to take out the laptop, some you don't. Now, I just finally did pre-check and I'm supposed to not ever have to take out my laptop, but still in certain airports, I do. So I did have to take
hold on, back up. You haven't had TSA pre-checks before?
No, this is the first time I finally got it just a month ago.
But you travel so much.
Yeah. So finally I did it. And so far I one time had things go faster. The other times I switched out of the line.
You don't have. This is fascinating to me.
The TSA pre-check line was much longer than the general line. And so me and a couple of people jumped out and went through the regular line and it was faster. So
interesting. No, I have TSA pre-check clear. I'm like, get me through all of this with the least amount of hassle. Take my eyeballs, take my fingerprints. Jamie's freaking out over here. I'm like, I don't care. Get me through the herd.
I opted out of the X-ray, the scanner, and I was like, pat me down, sure.
Yeah, I've got clear finally.
I will tell you though, the gift bag that I took home from Orlando, mentally in my head, I was like, there are matches in here. I need to throw the matches away. I did not throw the matches away. However, I will tell you that they did not pull the bag for the matches. They pulled it for the candle.
Oh,
I had the same. I checked my bag. Did you check your bag?
No, I had it in a spare bag because I didn't have any room in my suitcase. And so I carried it, but they're pulled my bag off, which I was like, sure, go through it. And I'm standing there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I know what you have. And I tell him and he's like, no, that's not what we're looking for. We're actually we found a candle. I was like, I go, well, there's also matches in there. Can you throw them away? Yeah. Just send me through with matches. Crazy.
That's crazy.
But definitely check baby formula. That's dangerous.
Yes. Or the water.
Or your applesauce pouch.
I had too many toiletries when I threw, and so when I went through Orlando, they pulled it out. I'm like, it's just makeup. It's just makeup. They're like, well, we have to check. I'm like, it's just makeup. So go ahead.
Yeah.
But
they patted me down in Orlando, and I was like, you could have at least bought me a drink first. They laughed because at the end of the day, they're just doing their job.
I'm gonna feel your waistband. It's that's on you.
Well, I think this like I said before, I'm looking through social media and it seems like this could be the first paycheck missed by military members, and then that's going to have a big impact. But I
the longest shutdown? Is that the record?
I don't know if
the
this
longest
is
shutdown.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's longer than the Gingrich shutdown with the Gingrich, Bill Clinton, but I could look that up. But I also wonder if the Democrats aren't keeping things shut down because of these elections that in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, there are some who think that the Democrats are prolonging this because that might help them in Virginia elections. There's a lot of
in Virginia, they're pulling Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears into special sessions about these redistricting.
Oh, the redistricting. But to answer your question, the longest shutdown was under Trump's first presidency for 35 days, 2018 to 2019. It was according to ChatGPT. And as we learned yesterday, Jamie, ChatGPT isn't always right.
No, they aren't.
I'm still arguing with you about the HOA rules.
For the first time,
I
tried to use ChatGPT to help with a legislative brief I was writing, and it was taking too long. And I was like, I was typing to it, hurry up. Why are you taking so long? What's going on?
The machine is going to revolt against you. You have to be like,
so I just
please be faster.
I was like, forget it. I'm doing it myself. I typed it. I'm just going to do it as if it understands me. I was very frustrated with it because it cannot handle like I had this big brief, and we'd done that AI thing with Leadership Institute. So I thought, oh, maybe if I put this into ChatGPT, it would help. But it was too big. It was too much. So I ended up having to just do it myself anyway. So it's got to get better with larger files. Still
Or
not.
we could
still
like
ready to
not
take over the
lean all the
world.
way into AI. I am very hesitant that it's actually just a version of the apocalypse. It's terrifying. Unless you believe in Jesus Christ and you're going to be fine either way. But AI is not our friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to get help on my emails either way. So
Yeah, it's not, you have to tell it what to do too much. It's, I don't know. I'm still not techie enough to be able to utilize it the way some people are able to. I think if you're
No,
very,
I read an email correspondence between two people a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, they basically are just, it's ChatGPT talking to ChatGPT.
well, yeah, that's problematic.
Neither one of you are talking to each other. You're using AI to answer each other. Awesome.
I
Good
feel like
times.
the
can
email
you do that on email?
from our principal.
Yeah, like if you copy and paste, like, hey, this person replied this. How should I respond? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, it's helpful when there's maybe an email you don't want to write. It's like it's just like, hey, can you just write a quick email like, hey, how are you doing? I don't know. And maybe it kind of but it sounds so cheesy. Like it's really
Well, you can't. Yeah, but again, like, can you have blind trust in anything, right? I would read over anything. The M dash is giving you away either time you use it. Also, I actually had a funny conversation with Seth and Dylan at Summit where he talked about like how he had been using the M dash way before AI was
What's an M dash?
It's like the double dash.
The long dash and grammar. And every single time I still have to Google on my keyboard, what's the shortcut for an M dash? Because I can never find it. I'm like, how do I type?
So when AI responds, ChatGPT or whatever it is, they automatically use the long M dash.
I just do 2 dashes. Do like in a row to make it longer.
I don't know.
Is there a different way like that it just ends up longer, that only through AI?
No, there's a shortcut on your keyboard that I literally have to Google every time. So I'll find it and drop it here.
Oh, okay. There's the shortcut. There's a lot of shortcuts on the keyboard that I still have to Google.
Now you guys are doing it yourselves, so you're trying to mess the system up, whether it's AI or not, or you just using the M dash.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have already developed your thoughts and then you want to put them into AI to polish, that's great, but you're still going to have to edit it. There's going to be like some technical things wrong. AI really loves emojis as well. It's like, like emoji crazy. Lots of emojis. Anytime I put something through, it's like tons of emojis.
Well, I just dropped in the chat here, and Jack and I listened to it on Sunday. But Cornerstone Chapel in Leesburg dedicated almost all of their Bible study to AI and thinking about it from a biblical lens. And so I would highly encourage going and watching it because it really does paint a picture of the benefits, the risks, and how it is actually talked about in the Bible. So it's fascinating. If you
the mark of the beast, or that's what they're trying to.
Yes, the mark of the beast. Yes. They even talk about there are like 14,000 people in Sweden right now that have like something like the size of a piece of rice embedded in them that does everything for them, like knows everything about them. That's how that's their currency. Like terrifying.
Yes, I remember like hand or forehead.
You keep getting your eyeballs scanned at the airport. Girlfriend.
I'm a little bit more bought in than you, but it was a great reflection point of how slippery a slope and how dangerous AI can be.
Well, it's anything, right? It's making it easier. So clear, pre-check, AI, ChatGPT, Grok, like it's just.
What was that top
out of humans?
I'm gonna look that up. the Tom Cruise movie where he would stop pre-crimes.
Oh yeah, I don't remember, but
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it seemed like that was kind of an AI. Minority Report. At Washington, D.C. in the pre-crime division, and that they could see the crimes report, but everywhere you went, it was like they would scan your eyes and like say, hey, Scarlett, you're back. Like everywhere you went, they knew where you were, and they thought that they could stop all crime and all of that, but then it always ends up like not working. Surprise, surprise. Our overlord computer masters. I don't know. All right, so moving on. So Virginia, a very big election. What's going on there, Jamie? Because that's a big one with Winsome Sears.
I mean, most recently, I saw that the NAACP has endorsed Abigail Spanberger.
That's crazy. So the NAACP, instead of endorsing a Black woman, is endorsing a white
to be the first. I think which is the first Black lieutenant governor would obviously be the first woman and first Black governor.
That's insane. And
Did they
that's
say why on a press release or anything? I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, Google it. I don't know. I mean, I'm my assumption would be they align with the values and the issues that Abigail is supporting, which
I'm going to look up I want to show that picture. So you had a post that's gone viral, and I'm going to show the image.
it's pretty simple.
It's simple. That's good. Here, I'll share this to the screen. And then, there we go. Here we go.
Oh, no, wait. NAACP refutes false claims of VA governor endorsement. This is as of the 28th. The NAACP is the nation's largest, most influential nonpartisan social justice organization. Any claim that the association or the NAACP Virginia State Conference has endorsed a candidate for governor is categorically false. The NAACP supports policies, not politicians. We do not endorse candidates, and we will never allow misinformation to undermine our commitment to protecting Black voters and our democracy.
Yeah, I don't know. This is from nationalblackguide.com.
And this is us uncovering, is this disinformation or misinformation in real time? It's misinformation if it was an accident. It's disinformation if it was intentionally misleading.
Maybe. Well, I mean, you can lean in on having, Barack Obama here too, in support of Abigail, which I guess there's some ads going around that he was basically like, you have to vote for people that look like us.
That's what he did in Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he did in Wisconsin.
So can we use that to Winsome's benefit?
Yeah, no kidding. It's a little weird for him to say that in Virginia. Say don't vote for people that look like us if they don't have, if they aren't Democrats. Little caveat.
I posted something not too long ago about the money, just like the funding coming in, a lot of outside funding. I think the NEA has recently dropped like $150,000 into her campaign fund. I mean, it is really it's interesting.
Well, and it's not just that, it's the postcards that they'll write, the door knocking that they'll do. You can't put monetary value on that, but they will send out postcards. They will do door knocking. They will utilize their very extensive phone and email list, because think about how many emails that they have when you consider teachers and school districts and administrators. Like, they've got a pretty robust email list, and so they can get a lot of people out to vote. I know of situations where administrators would talk to parents privately and say, oh, I'm so worried about funding of our school, you know, it's really important that you go out and vote for the right person. The person's going to fund your child's special education, like striking fear in the heart of parents so that they get out and vote because they think, oh, we won't have these services anymore if I don't. So that's where a lot of their power lies, on top of the money that they're donating directly. But then there's how many 501c3s that they can give money to. And Rosalind, you could explain the difference between a 501c3 and a 501c4. So one is reported, one isn't reported.
Well, one is there's tax benefits, tax write-offs, but you can think of a 501c3 as an education focused, and a 501c4 as activism and action focused. And so they can be more engaged in endorsing candidates and getting out the vote, where a 501c3 is educating people on the policies and educating people on the track records of people who have voted and how they have voted. And you can register people for voting, but not necessarily get out the vote with like targeted lists or anything like that. It has to be completely neutral, completely benign, and focused on educating people versus activating people. Does that make sense?
Yes. And those lines are blurred in when you see the literature. Like, it can be so obvious for a 501c3. Like, don't here's one candidate that's like that has these values and another that has this value, but what I have seen more, like, let's say from Human Rights Campaign, when they get involved, if you just go on their X page right now, you can see the kind of language that they use, and it's obvious where they would want you to vote. But then you'll see that they're holding get out the vote events, and it's really obvious that because they are with members of the Democratic Party and more progressive leadership and progressive groups. So it's technically, yes, they're following the law, and they're not saying we endorse, this so-and-so candidate, but which way they're going, and they're activating. And, it keeps people funded and paid and involved in activist politics in a way that political parties can't, because they don't have that. They get donations for a certain quarter, and then they can't afford to keep the staff. So people go into work for C3s and C4s.
One of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I think the most important thing to talk about, is congratulating and celebrating Miss Scarlett Johnson on her victory for free speech, a 3-year-long battle. Do you feel unleashed? And I wish I could hug you from DC to Wisconsin. This is huge, and we're so thrilled for you, Scarlett.
Thank you. Well, we can talk about that. Here's an image just so it went. This is the case that went to the Wisconsin Court of Appeals, and you can see there that was the case. It's been a 3-year-long battle that I have not been able to talk about because doing so could jeopardize my case. And so 3 years ago, it was to the day. My husband looked it up last night. It was on October 28th, 2022. This case was filed against me for defamation and for a former employee of the school district in which I reside was seeking punitive damages, which means it's an undetermined sum of money that would be determined by a jury. So I was facing a jury trial, and I was facing a jury trial for calling basic here. I bring it up exactly what I said, but I still feel weird about even talking about it because I wasn't allowed to talk about it for so long that I still kind of feel almost superstitious about talking about it. So I will add it to the stage as I can find it here.
So I read it to Stephen last night, and he was shocked. He's like, that caused this? And he's like, this could happen to anyone. Like, this is the terrifying reality of advocacy, right? And people who don't understand that freedom of speech means being allowed to even say and hear things that you don't agree with or support. But this is it.
Yeah. So this was the post. Why the hell am I paying for a social justice coordinator in my school district? What does skilled in equity promotion and social justice even mean? Please elaborate. This is just what, and this is my school district, MT Schools needs more woke white women with a God complex. Thank you, white savior. And attached to this post was a LinkedIn profile of the teacher in which she had stated that she was a social justice coordinator, skilled in equity promotion and social justice, and had gone on about like sort of using DEI language. And this was a publicly available LinkedIn profile. It was, I don't even have a LinkedIn account, and I didn't at that time, and I could click it. And so it was a screenshot of basically what she had out there. And then a quick glance of her social media showed that she was a progressive, and she had lots of political posts and political content posted on her publicly available social media. But I did not, this, as you could see, I tagged the school district. I was asking the school district a question, like, because the school district had lied and, in my opinion, not been truthful, and said that we don't have a DEI officer. We aren't teaching our curriculum through the lens of critical race theory. And so this was a big issue. This was 2022. Critical race theory was just the hot topic. I was running for school board. There's a lot of backstory behind all of this, which I will talk about more separately because I want to get everything together. But there's a lot more to this story. Let's just say that. But at some point, there was a subpoena of they tried to get my phone, my bank records for 7 years, my computer, my iPad, all of my financial data and credit card statements for 7 years, all of my husband's personal financial records. And we kept saying, why do you need this? You're filing a defamation case. Why would you want to go through all of my social media? They wanted to do a forensic analysis of my phone and all of my messages. So it was a really scary ordeal. And I had to hire lawyers to represent me privately. And then thankfully, the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty took my case when it finally hit to the point where I was headed to a jury trial, and they filed an appeal. And they've been wonderful. And they know, my attorney was Luke Berg, and he did a great job. And my prior attorney was Tom Kamenek, and he is a free speech lawyer. And if you ever are in Wisconsin and you need help with a public record request, that's his field of expertise. But I had a great legal team, and it was a lot of work. I went through several depositions that were 4 hours long, 3 hours long. They wanted, when they couldn't break me, they just kept saying, we want to do another deposition and another deposition. And so I had some of my friends that had been deposed. It was a really terrible ordeal. So the victory was awesome. I'm still processing all of it, honestly.
3 years. I thank you for fighting that long. Thank you for not quitting. Thank you for staying in the battle for parental rights, common sense, your free speech, right? Because this could have canceled you. You could have canceled yourself as a result, and the world would not be a better place for that. So
I think that was the goal. The damages that were asked were just outrageous. The facts of the case did not merit. This was a former teacher. When the statement was made, she had already quit the position. I didn't even know that because it really wasn't about her. But everything that just didn't line up. So to me and to my lawyers, they felt that this was a political case. It was made because I was a well-known member of Moms for Liberty, a parental rights activist. I spoke a lot in Wisconsin, and they felt this was a way to silence me and to stop my criticism of my local government and what was going on in my state.
I mean, I feel like we've heard a handful of cases like this in the last couple of years, especially with moms involved in Moms for Liberty for, more woke, left-leaning individuals who are in the education sphere, getting their feelings hurt online.
Well, we have our friend Helen Levinson in Illinois who she won her case, but it was the same thing, a very long ordeal where she was sued by a teacher. And we have our very good friend Kit Hart, who is right now going through the process is almost just beginning for her, where a teacher that is, pull up her social media, like, who was going after Kit, who was attacking Kit, but now is filing a lawsuit against her. And she's a leader in Moms for Liberty in Maryland. So, and there's a lot more cases like this where lawfare has been used against people like us. And I think that, you can see my case, the tide is turning, but I wonder if I would have had this outcome if Trump wasn't president, to be honest. I think I could have had a very different outcome if you read the tea leaves and you can see the direction that the Supreme Court is going with Mahmoud, with your case, Rosalind, and that Trump is putting in federal judges that they're going to be more independent. They're not going to be progressive. They're not going to believe that lawfare is a vehicle through which you should make political statements and, do through law what you can't do through, your elected leadership. But I think that I would have had a very different outcome if the 2024 election had gone to Kamala Harris. I really do. I don't think I would have stood a chance.
I think we are going to see generational change as a result of President Trump's first term and the Supreme Court justices he elected. What's the word I'm looking for? Nominated. Thank you. And then it's going to be a trickle-down effect, right? And hopefully now with the second term, even more judge appointments. And what I think is interesting is Moms for Liberty, whether listed as Moms for Liberty plaintiffs, and like that's the name, or just, concerned parents in general, are winning in the court of public opinion and the court of law, right? So it is both sides of that, because people see that this isn't okay. They see that this is a violation of free speech, and they are willing to fight for it because it is one of our most fundamental rights here in America. So congratulations, Scarlett.
Yes, thank you. And again, I have to say thank you to the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. And if you want to learn more about this, you can see my social media. And there is a direct link to the decision and everything right on the Will social media. But if you live in Wisconsin and you're wondering, like, you want to make a difference, the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty makes a real difference. And so if you're, charitable giving, we would want you to donate to Moms for Liberty, and also in Wisconsin to Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. They without them, I would not have had this success. And they fight for First Amendment rights in my case and in many other cases that they are currently dealing with and working on right now. And, if not Luke, I'll just quote my lawyer that Scarlett, like all of us, has the right to question and criticize her government. This defamation lawsuit against her was meritless and should have been promptly dismissed. We are pleased that the court agreed and that Scarlett can put this distraction behind her. And so that's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm happy to put this behind me and move on with my life. And I think I can say that I've made it safe for parents across Wisconsin and America to call out their school as woke. Without being sued.
A little known right we had, right?
Who
I
knew
was
that
gonna
you
share,
were involved with
well, maybe I won't share it, but Will actually has a webinar coming up about opting out after Mahmood and how schools and parents are navigating the new landscape. I dropped the comments for you, Scarlett, in the chat if you want to share it with everyone. But
Yeah.
it's will-law.org/events. I think it's happening. Oh, maybe now. Today, actually, no, it was yesterday, but I'm sure it's
But
recorded.
they
We'll share
have these here. They do they have this webinar. They'll have it again, I'm sure, because I've attended this webinar. They have lots of different webinars, and then if you were to contact them, they record them and they might send
Yeah,
you.
or host one for your group or organization. I mean, they've been so willing to help and meet with parents. So super helpful resource.
Yes, they also have a great resource that they spent a lot of years working on, and even the Southeastern Legal Foundation, Kim Herman, helped them with this. They have, it's about 70 pages long, and it is a guide for school board members and for parents. All legal questions, everything that you can think of regarding education. If you're running for school board, if you're considering running for school board, which I hope you are, we should also mention that in the states that have these elections, in Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, there are also school board elections, and that's our bread and butter. So make sure that you are voting down ballot. And what should you do if you don't know who to vote for school board?
ChatGPT it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You can
Just
go to
kidding.
momsforliberty.org and see if there is a chapter in your county, and if they have a recommendation, if they've recommended officially, you could contact them, because sometimes there's a lot of candidates that we are endorsing unofficially, and you can get some recommendations from there and you can get some help. So if you see that there's a state committee leader but there isn't a state legislative committee leader, but you don't see that there's a chapter in your area, contact your state committee leader and then think about forming a chapter.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
following up, we have a couple super fun events and that we've been at recently. Summit, for one. I don't think we've talked about Summit yet. I think we were all so exhausted last week that we haven't talked about it yet. But I've been watching the YouTube recordings of all the panels and speakers, and they've been great to watch.
Which has been your favorite so far?
I mean, I haven't made it through that many, but I did watch the dad panel, which I don't know, it was just great to see all the personalities just really, come together, that, dads are more than just like the breadwinners. A lot of times, like, these are dads that are, really active and proud of their kids and their lives that they've built with their wives. And so I don't know, I just think, like, just pride in fatherhood. It was really great to see. And it was funny.
It was. I love the dad panel and I love Jennifer Say's panel.
I'll need to go back and watch them. Good tips.
I've been looking
to see either.
I mean, we just had, we had, I want to say, even despite a handful of cancellations and changes, I mean, we hosted over 60 speakers through that, 2.5 days with all of our breakout session speakers. So there's a lot of content to listen to. Is that all on YouTube, Scarlett, or Moms for Liberty YouTube?
Yes, a lot of that is on YouTube. More is being added. I think our breakout sessions will be added eventually. That'll take more time. I think that everything went great. There were some speakers that couldn't make it because of the government shutdown. And so anyone that worked with the Trump administration that was going to speak could not because of everything that's happening. Yeah, the shutdown. They could not get the travel approved, or for whatever reasons. And so, but it was great despite that. We had a lot of wonderful speakers, and I think Pastor, I'm not going to say his name right. He was
Pastor John. We'll just call him Pastor John.
Pastor John. He was a
Amachuku?
favorite. Yes,
Yeah.
he was a favorite. Benny Johnson was great. Adam Coleman on that panel as well. Terry Schilling on that panel did great. Like that was probably one. That
The
seems to be
teacher
one-
union panel. I mean, we had Corey DeAngelis and Aaron
Yeah.
White, Ryan Walters, educational freedom panel, just to talk about choices and what that looks like, from Kate Anderson with ADF, Sarah Partial Perry from Defending Education. Who else was on that panel?
Anytime we have a legal panel, that's a favorite.
So good. I love it. I'm like,
everyone wants to learn more.
Oh, the
about
Florida Commissioner of Education joined that panel with Erica Donalds moderating. I mean, it was just like so many topics. I mean, I don't know if we it could have fit any more in. We had Mary Holland just talking about, that was my dog.
Ace.
And Kate Johnson, Benny's wife,
Johnson.
talk about Maha Health. That there's a new movement in the conservative movement that this and I talked with Kate behind the scenes and I said, this used to be kind of like a granola the kind of moms that were really interested in these topics used to be more on the left. And now, like the big change where that now you see more independent, moderate, and even conservative young people are extremely concerned, rightfully so, about what is injected into their children, what their children are eating, and the chemicals that are used on the food that we eat and the air that we breathe. And those issues should be nonpartisan. We should all care about these issues.
And we can take it full circle because we had a rhetoric for the Republic debate and multiple breakout sessions, including one from Digital Childhood Alliance. We had Screen Strong. Brandon Guffey was speaking about a personal testimony just about AI and social media and the impacts on our kids and education. And so it was action packed.
It was.
Good to bring that full circle, Jamie.
Yeah, Corey was great. His daughter and his wife is so beautiful. His daughter is so cute, and he made himself available. I have some behind the scenes interviews with a lot of these folks, which we will roll out soon in due time. Getting still recovering from all of that, plus my daughter's big Halloween dance party. But we've got some great behind the scenes, and I was able to meet and talk with Jennifer Say and the 3 young ladies that were on her panel. And I broke down and cried several times during that. It was my favorite interview because these young women, their bravery, their courage, a lot of adults could use an injection of that kind of courage. And their parents were wonderful as well.
Absolutely. Yes. We were glad that they could join us. It was, it's just different. We're trying different things. We want to get people that are standing for truth.
We had Angela and we had Alex Stein. Like that was different, but Angela Belcamino, I'm saying her last name right.
Belcamino.
I just
Garcia, Jamie Franklin, Caitlin Bennett. Yeah, the influencer content creator panel was certainly a hit just to, bring some of these people that we follow and admire, from our side of the phones and computers into real life. Was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were great. They were great to life, really friendly. We're going to do more working with them, we'll probably have them on this. We're getting this kind of up and running, but we'll have some guests and Gates Garcia, Lydia Schaefer, Jamie Franklin, any of those, like they're amazing. They're funny, they're interesting, different, and wanting to bring these voices to people. There's so many different influencers out there, but I think we found a couple of really great people that are some are up and coming, some have been well established, but they're unique and they're different. And I had a great time getting to know them.
It was a great panel. You did a good job, Scarlett, organizing and thinking of that.
So did
Very
people.
visionary.
That was a team effort. We all worked hard on that. And
then most recently, Rosalind and I and one of our chapter chairs in Maryland, Nicole Ackley, were invited to a leaders reception dinner with Heritage Foundation, where they awarded their most recent innovation prize for the America 250. So that was really great. We got to hear from Kevin Roberts and Brian Kilmeade. Brenda Hafera announced her the Heritage Guides to Historic Sites. So kind of rates our 13 colony and different historic sites on their wokeness or lack of wokeness. So we were proud. We were hosted at Mount Vernon, and Mount Vernon received an A. So that was happy to report back that Mount Vernon is a.
It's teaching true American history, right?
I love Mount Vernon. I have a membership there. So next time I go, I can't wait to see it at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to look beautiful. They were doing renovations.
They're still doing renovations. Yes. They're hoping to have the renovations complete by, I think, Independence Day of 2026 for, of course, the 250th celebration of America.
Yeah. So I had chaperoned many an 8th grade trip, and we always go to Mount Vernon. And so I've seen it before the renovations. I'm super excited to see what they're doing with these renovations. And it's still, even with the renovations, still beautiful. It's a gorgeous place to see, and it actually has a really good restaurant too.
So, but I have to hop, but I do have a question, and I asked it to Jamie when we were there, so I'll ask it to you. So Jamie was like, I want to go back in time. Like, I want to be Bridgerton. I could do this. And I'm like, could you really? And so the question I have is, would you, if there was an experience, like a 2-day long, 2-night, 2-day experience where you paid to go and live like somebody from 1776, would you pay to go do it?
No. That's there was like no bath.
I'm like, no, there was totally baths. There was no showers. You could totally get a bath.
I didn't see it seemed like there. Did you see the outhouses there? They were like you had to walk outside and go to the outhouse.
I was like,
no. All right, Scarlett's a no.
I'm a no.
Scarlett's a no. So we don't want to have a period themed summit in 2026. Is that what you're saying? We don't want to celebrate America's 250th by living.
I would love to celebrate it.
That would definitely make it easier for production.
What?
I said that would definitely make it easier for production. It's just like a person standing talking to all of us.
Everyone has to write their tweets with pen and quill.
You have to catch your own dinner and.
I also want to show something because
I'm not hating this idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I'm showing the White House decorated for Halloween because, Rosalind, tomorrow you are going to be at a White House event.
That is the plan, hoping that it doesn't get canceled because of all the rain we are anticipating here. I know. I am watching it closely. So.
Oh, look at how cool.
Yeah, I love this decor. I want to do this to my back porch.
Oh, that is so cool. I think it's really classy. Of course, like Melania, it'll be really classy.
Mm-hmm.
It'll look really cool.
It does look beautiful.
I do have some sad news. I got a letter. I was not accepted to be on the decorating committee of the White House.
I wasn't either.
Oh, they responded? Well, that's nice that they responded.
I think they respond to every applicant. It's not just
they responded.
But I was saying at least the response.
I hope
at least they told you they weren't that into you and they didn't
they weren't that into me. I don't get to decorate, but I do hope I get to go through and see the decorations.
Yes, and so anybody listening, you go through your congressperson to request those. You can get those too. So go to your congressperson.
Right now you can't because of the shutdown and because there's construction, but hopefully they'll reopen
for Christmas.
Yeah. Yes, for Christmas.
Hopefully.
I really want to see. I did get my White House Christmas ornament though. I have that. But
All right, I
we
need
can
to
all
go.
join,
I need to hop off.
all right.
America Principles Policies Gala.
Oh, you have a gala tonight?
No, not tonight. The gala in December.
Oh, yes. I saw that. That looks really pretty.
All right. I gotta go see
Bye,
you.
ladies.
All right. Yeah, we better go
Talk to you later.
back to mom duties.
Bye.
All right. Signing off. This is live. So we're live. So we're going to be like, hey, bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And we will be back next week. And maybe we'll have a guest. Who knows?
You never know.
Don't be
with Mom's
surprised.
Right.
You never know. Just wait and see. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks.